Okay, so we're taking a look at the ZaReason UltraLap 430. The what? This is one of a new trend of Linux boutique laptops that we're seeing. System 76 is probably the one you may have heard of. It gets the most mentions and popularity, and they're good laptops. I went with ZaReason after seeing an article by Cory Doctorow on Boing Boing about them because A, they're made in Oakland, California, so it's right nearby. I get to buy local with my laptop, and B, they provide a warranty option so that you can, just like you would from a big manufacturer like Lenovo, extend that warranty in a way that actually makes sense. It's not getting ripped off with an extended warranty like you'd get at the shop. They actually provide, in some cases, on-site support, but definitely an easy way to get support and fixes for up to 2 to 3 years. I've got a 1-year warranty on this right now, but I just wanted to try it out and see what it's like. It comes with your choice of Linux installed. You can choose from Ubuntu, Mint OS, several other distros on there. I chose Ubuntu. I know Unity interface has caused a lot of controversy in the Linux community, but frankly, for somebody coming from an OS 10 or Windows situation, Unity doesn't have a lot of the disadvantages that the old-fashioned Linux user is going to complain about. But I'm not going to review it mostly on Ubuntu. I'm going to review this laptop because my idea in buying it was my MacBook Pro is great. It is a solid workhorse. It can run all 3 operating systems, but it's heavy, and I don't always need to carry it around. So, should I buy a MacBook Air? Should I get one of these Ultrabooks? I went with the UltraLap 430 because it's the lightweight Linux laptop from ZaReason. Gave me a chance to try them out. Now, base price for this is $899. Mine cost more because I bulked it up from 4 gigabytes of RAM to 16 gigabytes of RAM because I always have so many darn tabs open. I need a little extra RAM. I also went with the 64 gigabyte hard drive option, which is the maximum flash hard drive that you can have in here. But otherwise, the options are the same across the board. You've got a Core i3 processor in here. I think you can choose to get a faster processor, but I don't feel like that gives you a whole lot of benefit. And the ports here distinguish this from a MacBook Air. You're not stuck with just one little port, and it's still pretty lightweight. This thing has an Ethernet port, an HDMI port, a USB 3.0 port on that side, and then on the other side, you've got 2 USB ports, one 2.0, one 3.0, an SD card slot, and a microphone and headphone uni jack, which I don't always love, but I'm really not going to be using this for recording a lot. Maybe some Skype calls or something, and this is sufficient for that. Like I said, it's very lightweight, less than 3.25 pounds, and for me, going from a MacBook Pro, it feels like it's a feather. Good build, nice brushed aluminum here. It looks nice. A lot of people don't realize that it's not a Mac if they're not looking too close. This keyboard is a chiclet keyboard. I don't love it. It's a little bit bendy. It's not as solid as maybe I would like, but I kind of hate chiclet keyboards anyway. I'm used to them by now. That's fine. The room that you have with the keyboard and the palm rest and everything is perfect for me for doing what I want. Trackpad is fine. It works really well. What I don't like is this unified mouse click button here. Left and right are in one bar, and it's part of the same piece of plastic, and it just feels cheap. It's really hard for me to highlight things for cut and paste. But that's the least of my worries. Screen is fine for what I want to do. It's 1366 by 768 resolution, and it honestly, what I'm using this for is browsing the web, doing my lineups for Tech News Today, checking some email, maybe playing some videos. Works great for that. All in all, I'm really in love with this laptop. The fact that it runs Ubuntu is just a bonus because I get to live in Linux, which I haven't done in a long time. And Ubuntu 12.4, which is running on this, works great. I almost went with Mint OS, and I might still switch it. That's another thing, is I can switch it. I'm not locked into one laptop. I don't have a license. I'm not locked into one OS. I don't have a license restriction here. And the best part, I saved for last, every component that ZaReason puts into their laptops, which by the way are manufactured in the United States, built in the United States, every component that ZaReason puts into the laptop is certified to have a driver that works with Linux. So I haven't had a whole lot of issues. In fact, the only issue I've had was a little bit of a connectivity issue, and it's a known bug in Ubuntu that when it goes to sleep and you wake it back up, it looks like the wireless radio is turned off. And there's a function F2 that ZaReason immediately answered when I asked him about it. Said, yeah, you do function F2, turns it back on. We're working on a fix. And it's an Ubuntu-wide problem. Other than that, though, I haven't had any driver issues, any malfunctions, anything like that. Really enjoy this laptop. It may not be for everyone because it's Linux. There's always the weirdness of a new operating system when you switch. I remember going from Windows to OS X and having to learn a lot of things. You're going to have to learn a lot of things going to Linux, and it's a different way of learning things. Some things you have to do in the command line to change a setting still. Most things you don't. But that's why I probably give this a try, just because if you haven't tried Linux before, you may want to see if it's for you. But more than ever, Ubuntu, I don't feel like I'm using Linux. I just feel like I'm using a laptop. So if you are okay with Linux, then I'd change it to buy. But for everybody, just in general, I'll say try. That's it for the ZaReason UltraLap 430.